gypsy heaven, paradise. Oh, caravan, yes. Here I am in this little caravan. This is the first caravan. I knew that I needed to live free and I needed to live without giving all my money every month over to some bank somewhere so that sold my soul long ago to a government. I needed to have my money come and work for my own dreams. So I said, I'll, I'll find a trailer. I'll find a trailer nobody wants. And that's what this was, darling. $350, this trailer. It was moldy in the roof and it was leaking all over the roof. So I just ripped that down, ripped that out, replaced the roof, and put over 3 layers of plastic that I taped with this beautiful white tape. It's taped together. And it's been the foundation for me saving the money that now I own the land. And the next thing is yurts, and the next thing after that is water systems, and then we'll go for solar, to get off the grid, one thing at a time. But the very first foundation was getting out from under rent. Okay, and this little dreamboat, I call it dreamboat, has given me the freedom that I needed. Where did I place it? Well, I asked a relative. I asked my mom. I said, "Can I work exchange a little bit of cooking and helping and pay you, for the utilities and pay you and give you some cash along the way?" You're going to find a place where you belong energetically and you can be helpful without it all being about the money. So today, honey, it's a really amazing day. I'm on my way up to the land. One of the elders up there found a yurt, a ruined yurt in the forest that has been abandoned for years, and we tracked down the owner and got permission to take it. So it's once again, just like Dreamboat cost me almost nothing. This is the first yurt is coming to the land, is also a gift of the goddess. You just say yes. You just say yes. You see what you want for your gypsy heaven caravan living, Eve's Eden lifestyle. And don't ask what when you're envisioning. Just see. Don't ask how, just see what you want. And then pray for the how. Show me how. Bring the how. Surrender to the however it manifests, okay? You can have this. If I can have this without a dime in my pocket until moments when the wind brings me bounty, so can you. Use your mind first. If you're in jail, get yourself out of jail with your mind, okay? Let's all get all those men and women out of jail right now who are there for no reason other than economics and wanting to steal their votes. Let's just imagine the millions of men in jail released, and a jail reform, a program to help people recover from drug addiction, to just help them. Why am I on this tangent? Because, this channel, Hippie Heaven, Gypsy Heaven, it's also about the New Green Deal. So we can't just talk about the problem of rent, that the rent is taking everything from us, without talking about racism and the fact that racism, people of color are being used as the way to divide and conquer the people. So they'll say, you should be afraid of everybody Latin and everybody black. And then they'll say, you should be afraid of those people, those immigrants, and you should be afraid of the Chinese. And it's a perfect way to isolate everybody instead of unify us as a world culture. The New Green Deal, see, it recognizes that. I was talking to a Trump supporter yesterday and realizing in his mind it's those immigrants that are the problem, and that's why he doesn't have adequate pay and adequate health care and adequate time off and no vacations, and it's all because of the immigrants coming. But it's not. Because if you look at the immigrants, you can see the 3 categories that are very typical for the immigrants. One is highly skilled, highly educated people who are the cream of their culture's abilities because they have the ability to come here and get an amazing education on top of their own education. They come with great skills. Then you have the other group of people who come with a trade, like a restaurant or a that they can do, or an incredible business that they're ready to set up very industriously, and they provide jobs, right? And they provide a service for a community, some wonderful food that other people wouldn't have, you know? And then you have the people who come here willing to do the work that none of us want to do, the picking, the migrant workers and the service workers and the gas stations and the cleaning of the hotels and the things that people in this country just don't want to do it. They don't want to make that sacrifice. They don't have the physical stamina. And now you have the whole country falling apart with it, the fruits falling to the ground if you take out the immigrants. And then there's the fact that we are all immigrants, every single one of us. So me talking about the yurt coming today, okay, I have this incredible blessing going on. I have this privilege that these guys trust me up there, these elders. They're willing to just come out and help the girl, you know. Well, but what if I was a black girl? Would they be so helpful? So we have to be helpful to the people around us that we connect with, especially if you know you have a connection with somebody of color. You need to reach across that divide that they've created to make you afraid of that person and mistrust them, and open up your heart. Now, I'm not saying open up to people you don't trust or you don't connect with or you have nothing in common with. It's not going to benefit you. But just like I never went to Mexico for years because they were always like, Mexico is such a dangerous place and it's so filthy. And okay, it is really dangerous, but hey, so's New York City, and it is really filthy in the city. The air pollution is really bad in Mexico City, but so is New York City. and that fear, that creating that divide in me so that I would not explore and I would not see the options in other countries. I was so blown away when I went and lived in Mexico for 7 years, and I went to Puerto Rico and lived and went to Europe and could see that it's a lie that we have it so good here. There are all these ways that it's set up for the people and for women to honor the feminine in other cultures that we never know because we're so busy believing in the divide and conquer strategies of Fox News and anybody who wants us to believe that some immigrant is the problem, when the problem is how we have set up our country against its own people in favor of corporations, and the way that we allow the corporations to make the decisions for everything about the environment and how our lives and our schools are going, where the money actually goes. Those billions of dollars going from baby dump right now to the corporations that actually need to go to the hands of the people who cannot work during the COVID virus. This is the kind of thing that we need new leadership for. And we have to sort of relax into it, like, okay, we're going to be the new leaders. Like, we're going to go run for office. Like, crazy people like me are going to go run for office someday, you know. Those comedians in like, what was it, Norway, that comedian who runs for office and wins, and then because he's so on the pulse of the people, you know. So as we create the new Green Deal, like with my little gypsy heaven caravan up on the mountain, living as much off the grid as I can while also being in the world. So we have another residence here in Shelburne Falls. It's like our legal main residence, playing the game as needed to be played while the play shifts and changes into the new Green Deal, where we allow tiny houses and we allow water catchment and we allow composting toilets because they're good for the environment, really good. Instead of being against all that, we allow it because we get into the offices. Now you can see, like, oh my gosh, we're just not that far away from a life that is really safe and joyous in a world that's inclusive, where all of the peoples are not fighting each other, they're feeding each other. It's a feminine vision. So as you see the women getting into power, the men will kind of laugh at it, like, oh, you know. But hey, don't laugh that way. Laugh in joy, because we're not afraid to be that radical now. and to really look what the real problem is, okay? It's not the immigrants. It's not that there's not enough space in this country. The United States has so much space compared to other countries that are overcrowded. We got the space. It's just about the space in our hearts. Don't let them divide and conquer us against each other. That is the biggest weapon being used against us. We've got to unite, okay? Unite! Hippies and gypsies unite with the rednecks, with the people of the city of color, with the immigrants who don't even speak English yet. And remember that anybody seeking refuge, this is a country built on the premise that we extend our heart and our hand to people seeking refuge, because this is the sanctuary. Okay, let's remember this is the sanctuary. And you know what? Americans are not reproducing the way other people are. We're just not having enough babies. So our culture is going to be like Italy pretty soon, where Italy doesn't have enough kids. It's an old culture. A lot of older people, they're starting to, go to the end of their time, and pretty soon there's already a problem in Italy. There's not enough people to do the service work, not enough people to keep everything running. The young people with that vigorous energy. So let's be thankful for people who, like Latin cultures, who really value family and having kids more. We need to replace ourselves if we want to be this big superpower. Okay, I love you. I love this conversation. It's happening. We're in it. We're doing it. Just taking the action one step at a time. I'm going to go up there and get this yurt now. Watch it happen. Ah!